welcome to 12 Months of Dollywood. My name is Louis Davidson, and I'm here at the Heartsong Lodge. My wife Valerie's with me. She'll be in the rest of the video. And we just came up to Dollywood to meet that 12-month requirement. And you know, Dollywood's closed, so we came to the Heartsong Lodge, give it a try. Had some dinner, do a little review there. After I get done here, we're gonna jump back in time. We're gonna do a little review of the island, a little review of a couple of attractions we tried over there. And honestly, we're getting ready next month. Hollywood's back open again. First year of operation and a brand new exciting attraction, Night Flight Expedition, that I am really excited to ride. And I know that'll be more exciting than our dinner here at the Ember and Elm. But you know what? That's what I do in February. Come up here and just have a little relaxing time. Eat some food, see some things, maybe ride a mountain coaster, maybe eat a meal here, maybe see a concert. They were sold out at the Dream More concert series, so just came here to have a little fun. All right, let's get to it. Still a pretty place. Definitely our exterior is really nice. Perfect time to come to. It's very quiet. Okay, this is the pickle Caesar salad. So I got the Nashville hot pizza, or flatbread. See how that is. And see, you got the filet, of course. All right, so we just finished eating at the Heartsong Lodge's Ember and Elm, and it's good. What do you think?
It was very good. I enjoyed it a lot.
That's a lot of words she used there.
I thought you were just asking me one question.
We started with some
With the deviled eggs.
deviled eggs, which were interesting.
They were incredibly good. There were 3 different kinds. There were 2 of each kind on the platter. The first one was a Caesar salad, deviled egg, so it had like a Caesar salad kind of flavor to the toppings on it. The second one was pork belly, and so it was a pink egg that was dyed in beet juice with pork belly and a little tiny pickle. And then the third one was a hot honey shrimp. And so it was a deviled egg with a little piece of shrimp with some hot honey sauce with it.
It was kind of odd and good at the same time. Of course, pork belly was nice and crispy, so that pretty much is good on anything. But I thought the crouton one was the Caesar salad one was strange. She liked it.
I liked all 3 of them.
I mean, it was just basically a little piece of like dried Parmesan, not dried. Yeah, I guess dried. You know what I'm talking about, right? She knows what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
You know why she knows? Because she ate the thing.
Yeah,
The pork belly one was good because not only the pork belly, which I actually ate separately because you don't waste that with mixing with egg taste. It had a little piece of pickle. So that was really good.
We didn't mention that at the beginning of the meal they brought out 3 tiny biscuits. They were really very good. But what was interesting was the jam that came with it was a spicy jam.
Red pepper jelly.
That very much almost tasted like salsa in a jam. So it was really interesting.
Salsa jam is very strange. It was a very strange thing. So we had that. Then we had the eggs. I had a Caesar salad, a pickle Caesar salad, which was okay. I mean, it's a good salad, but it said it had pickle croutons. I assumed that was going to be like some bread with a pickle flavor. Maybe I should have read, but I really thought it was going to be pickly flavored croutons. And they were actually legitimately just fried pickles. They were good fried pickles, not what I was expecting. And then finally we had some things. I'll let her start with hers because hers was clearly more high class than mine.
I love a good filet, and I don't get to have filet very often, so I definitely wanted to try that. And the great thing too about it was that they let me change the sides. So I actually got the filet with some mashed potatoes and some carrots. And it was all very good. I requested medium for my filet. It was a little more on the medium well side, but not enough to complain about it. But it was still incredibly good. So I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, I would have flung that steak right in someone's face and said, "Give me." I wouldn't have done that. Not even someone. There was something on the menu that had the word Nashville hot. So I had to try it. It was a Nashville hot flatbread. And I really hate every single thing that someone puts the name Nashville hot for one reason. Because these people have never had Nashville hot. Did not taste like, I mean, it felt a little like Nashville hot, but it was not Nashville hot chicken. There's just something special about Nashville chicken that nobody outside of there makes. I've only seen one place, and this place just went out of business recently in Cleveland, Tennessee. So if I take the word Nashville hot, and they just call it hot chicken, because it's like hot honey, hot spices, and bacon, and really good. But it did not, I'm always annoyed with the Nashville thing. I ate all of it. I'm full. I ate too much. Definitely good. Not too bad. So we were able to use our Diamond Pass discount, which was nice. We didn't think we could, which is 20%. Fantastic thing. Definitely worth getting a gold or Diamond Pass if you're going to come to the parks all that much. Oh yeah, then we had to buy one more thing.
We had to get a loaf of cinnamon. We were just too full from all the food to be able to do dessert at the restaurant, and so I thought it would be nice to take some home.
I'm personally a little saddened by that because as a Diamond member, I get free cinnamon bread every month, and we had to buy it because it's not on my account yet. Because you don't get it. You don't get it in February. You get it in March, April, May, June. The last 2 years, they've been having some really good deals. If you get a Diamond or Gold Pass in the first month, if you get a Diamond Pass, you get a cinnamon bread every month. And even if you don't go to the water parks, which are included in the Diamond Pass, you get 12 of these things. You get 11 of these bad boys, which are about $13 each. And then you get the 20% off, which is a good deal. They take it almost everywhere in Dollywood. So, overall,
I'll be begging him to come back. It was very good.
I know in my previous episode I said we were going to stay here for the weekend, but we're not staying here for the weekend. We're going on another adventure in a couple of weeks, and there's only so many adventures we can go on. And the adventure we're going on next time is we're going to go see a football game, a soccer match. So I think that's it. A few pictures around the hotel here, and then we're going to head back home. Although in the video, we're not going back home. We're actually going to go back in time, and we're going to go over to the island a little bit earlier today and check out a couple of attractions that I wanted to check out. Dollywood's closed, and she wasn't keen on making a mountain coaster her main thing. So we went over to the island and did a couple things she really liked. You'll see. But It took more time than we expected, so we didn't actually do the mountain coaster.
It's a nice way to end the evening.
And it's not cold. It's like 50, 59 right now, but the fire feels really nice. I actually feel heat. I feel like at the other place I didn't feel heat from these. I feel some heat. But I guess it's time to go back home. And now, back in time. Hello, welcome to 12 Months at Dollywood. We're not starting out in Dollywood today, but we're gonna get there. We're doing the Heartsong tonight for dinner. We're gonna do a review of that meal, but for this month we're starting out at the island because we heard there's a ride here that's like soaring at Epcot and thought it'd be cool to try. So here we go. I also want to do that Ferris wheel because I like Ferris wheels. This person, not so much. Wonder what I can see from up there. Gonna be interesting. So the ticket thing was complicated, but I got there. Now we go there. Not a long line either, so other than, you know, having to figure it out and go through the line and get up there and then be told I had to go through another line. No big deal. This place is kind of insane. But let's see what we can see from up there. Am I questioning my thought process? Yes. Am I wondering why so many of these are empty? I am absolutely wondering why so many of these are empty. I don't want to ask why so many of these are empty. There are people in some of them. I question myself when I do things like this. I know there's no danger here whatsoever. You know, within a 99.9999999% chance, but still, I question why I'm doing this.
Welcome to the Great Smokey Mountajn Wheel at the island in Pigeon Forge. For your safety, please remain seated at all times. Do not rock or shake the gondola. And please refrain from smoking, eating, or drinking while riding. In the event of an emergency, push the help button located above. Once the ride has come to a full complete stop, use caution when exiting. And do not forget to collect your personal belongings. Now, sit back, relax, and enjoy your ride as you ascend nearly 200 feet on the Great Smokey Mountajn Wheel.
So he didn't say anything about throwing up, so that's, you know, let's take in the views. When I decided to do this, I was kind of mad at myself for not bringing a good camera. But to be fair, as cool as this is, and it is pretty cool, of course, I mean, Ferris wheels are awesome. This whole idea of being this high in the sky is really neat. But the scenery here is just okay. There's nothing I didn't see from the car coming in, like the mountains over there. I mean, they're gorgeous, right? And when I post these pictures, these are the pictures I'll be posting. And to be honest, the whole mechanism of how this works and what makes it go, I don't really see it. I'm sure there's an engine somewhere up there. I don't see like a pulley or whatever. Oh, here we go. See the wheels here moving this thing. It's really cool. I'm not gonna lie. And in some ways, I'm really kind of mad I didn't save this for a trip when I was coming back from a conference, because it's really nice to have a side trip that I can then put in my posts and talk about. But I mean, it's by no means terrible. And I spent $52 on this and 2 passes to the next thing we're gonna do called Sky something, which is apparently a bit of a longer, more involved version of Soarin'. But yeah, that's all I got. I'll say some more when I leave, but right now it's time to take a few stills. So one thing to note, if you've ever ridden a Skyliner at Disney, or maybe the one in London, or I saw one in another country I mean, I didn't see it, but I saw pictures of it. These are basically the Skyliner. There's no difference whatsoever, other than these are a bit less, you know, outfitted for being up in the air a long time. There's no bars, there's no way to talk. There is a button, top of the show, that you can push if you have emergency. I was honestly expecting something like the Orlando Eye, and this is nothing like the Orlando Eye. The Orlando Eye had like a whole room. It was very big. There was no shaking. There was no nothing. This has a little bit of a tilt. It's not scary by any means. I mean, it was to get in. Always frightened to cry out of me right when I get into these things. My absolute favorite Dollywood story I've ever had is the time where I came up for a pass holder day. And I stayed the night. I came up Friday morning, did the pass holder day. And then on Friday night, I stayed at this True here up on the off Teaster. And when we got up in the morning, it had snowed. And that top level there is like a patio where you can hang out on. It's my favorite thing. I imagine, it was the first time I stayed at a True. I was really hoping all of them had that. But it was like 6 inches of snow on the top. It was freezing cold. Dollywood closed. Craziness. I was so sad too because I thought it was going to snow just enough that I was going to get some snow pictures of Dollywood. I only have one set of snow pictures of Dollywood, and they're very old. The grist mill had a different facade on it. It's totally interesting. But they're Christmas pictures too. They came out. I took them during the Christmas festival. And it's pretty cool. You do 3 loops all the way around. That was on the Orlando Eye, you did 1, but you stopped every second. It was more picture taking. This is more, maybe a little bit more thrill oriented. Because we're in Pigeon Forge, and how do you get that? As much as I love Dollywood, getting to Dollywood is like going through a busy city until you get to a nice place nice country feeling place. This feels like a busy place. Honestly, the inner workings, the cotter pin there, all this stuff is what really kind of excites me. I really wanted to be an engineer when I was a kid, and I didn't make it because a lot of math. But some of the things and how these things move still excite me. All right, I think we're coming in for a landing here, I think. Maybe not. I'm feeling a little shuddering. If it is, that's my stop. That is not my stop. I think I'm going again. But now I'm really going to be quiet because that's embarrassing. Oh, and this is a good shot too. I'm going to rate this one better to look at than to ride. It's still pretty from the sky, but it's not tremendously exciting from the air. All right, let's go. Sky ride. Sky, I don't know, sky something. I looked at the ticket. I can explain it this way. If you've ever done the balloon in Disney Springs, it's great. But you can see Disney World from there. If you could only see Disney Springs, that wouldn't be fun either. So the view wasn't so great. The ride was what you expect, and nice air conditioning if you need that sort of thing. SkyFly, that's what we're doing. SkyFly. All right, here we go. Pictures. There's always pictures.
So, it turns out this airship isn't the first flying thing you invented.
True. In fact, the first flying machine of mine was an ornithopter complete with wings, responsive audio interface network.
So, brain for short.
Oh, how thinking.
Wait. Hold on. We need to focus.
To those of you who have just joined us, welcome. My daughter Hannah and I have been working tirelessly preparing for your arrival. Have any of you ever been on such an incredible voyage as this one before?
Not sure. We'll find that out in a minute.
Well then, we should go get changed into our flight attire and head to the cockpit. What, is there something on my face?
Your mother's eyes and your father's sense of wonder.
Let's go.
This is definitely going to be interesting.
Whoa.
Probably painful, but fun. Fun and painful. Who doesn't like a nice fun and painful journey? This is quite a fit, I'm just saying.
Yeah, it is.
She's got the bug. She's never going to stop taking pictures either. Because it's necessary. We have a picture of this, right? I can do this today, but I can see doing it twice. It's definitely worth $10 to ride if we weren't going somewhere else. Okay, so we just got off the tram from the SkyFly. I can't remember. The name is not catchy, I will say that. But, and well, we both generally liked it. We're gonna say the things that we did and didn't love about it. I'll let her go first. One thing at a time. I love or I hate, either way, or dislike, or critique, or whatever you really want to say.
I really loved the steampunk theme because I enjoy that. So I thought that the style of the building, the queue going into the attraction, I loved the video with the dad and the daughter that was prepping the flights. I thought they were funny. It was really cute. The pre-show, yes.
There's two pre-shows.
The pre-shows. And so I thought that they were really interesting. And so I thought the theming was really good.
One of my negatives was the steampunk steaming.
Theming.
Steampunk. I'm losing it. I'm going to have to stop doing this stuff pretty soon, apparently. The steampunk theming didn't carry over into the attraction. It had it for a second, it closed, and then it was a video of places, and then it came back on and we left.
Well, but the idea was that you were on a steampunk airship.
Yes.
And you were traveling through time and space. So
got none of that from the if we had not gone through the pre-show.
Well, yeah, I mean the
would have not
pre-show
known.
Sets that up.
So that was my problem. I wanted to know that when I was flying.
The seats you were in the theater,
I couldn't see when I was flying.
Well, yeah, but you were in a steampunk themed airship, so you knew that. You could tell.
But I'm in this plane. I'm in this device that this people made, and I don't hear them. They're not telling me anything. They make jokes about the landing gear and all that stuff in the pre-show. None of that.
Right.
That's the end of it in the pre-show. Needed to carry over because the pre-show was, I mean, it was Disney-esque quality. I thought up until the ride started, it was top notch.
Right. Yeah.
Which takes me to one of my biggest negatives, the video.
Actually, that was my negative as well.
The color
video was not clear.
They oversaturated some of the things, like they made fall look ridiculously. I mean, I've done that myself. But it wasn't very clear. It looked like it was drone footage. I mean, good, very, very, very good drone footage.
But it was definitely not very, it was very blurry-ish in places. The things that they added in, you could kind of tell was kind of an add-in that was awkward in the space.
There are people on top of the trees.
Yeah, there's somebody doing a tightrope walk and just different things that just didn't look very natural. But it just was not the clearest video, and so.
But there were some really good parts. They took us over a Bristol race, over Bristol Speedway.
Yeah.
That was really cool. That made people go woo, because that was pretty clear and took you right into it. There were lots of good scenery. One more tiny negative was they spitted water at you, and it dripped on me. It wasn't like it was spraying. There was the dripping that bugged me. It was annoying.
A couple of times my glasses got pretty wet, so it was definitely a lot of water. at certain points, but that was kind of fun though too, I think. So
It was fun. Like, so on Soarin' at Epcot, there's always this thing where this big fish, whale, comes down and whoosh and splashes you for a transition. And I hate those transitions, but the fact that you don't get a little bit of wet or a sea smell has always been a downer. Because the smells are what makes Soarin'. Soarin', the visuals are good, bendy sometimes, but good, very clear. And then the smells. So if you got sprayed on Soarin' at that point, it would actually be perfect. I mean, that would make it, that section perfect.
Yeah.
Like I said, when I was coming out, I would have rode it again today if I had time or if I was by myself. And I didn't want to stand in the, I just don't want to wait for the pre-show, but.
I would not have done it again just because for me, my vertigo, I didn't get dizzy, but I definitely felt the, kind of the whooshiness of it all after a little while because it was longer. It was longer than,
It's 2.5 times longer than Soarin'.
Yeah.
It's 10 minutes instead of 4.
Right. So it definitely gave me that kind of shaky feeling. So when we left the theater, I was like, yeah, I would not want to get right back on it again. It's not that I wouldn't want to ever do it again, but I just definitely didn't want to do it again today.
Is it worth going in there just for that? Pretty much the same thing I said about the wheel. It's not necessarily worth going in there just to do those. It was worth doing it for the first time. I've always wanted to do the Ferris wheel. I like Ferris wheels. I've done it. Do I need to do that one again? Probably not. I missed as I was doing it. I couldn't see anything but around because it's, we're at the mountains. We're not at a place like Disney where it's flat. So you can't see Dollywood from up there. You can't see anything else, just the area around, which is kind of built up.
Well, and the island is definitely, it's interesting because I have never been to the island before. So that was my first experience here in Sevierville to go there. And it was very crowded. There was a lot of people, but one really positive was even as crowded as it was, I very easily found some seats to sit in when I was waiting for him. So there was a lot of seating, a lot of benches, a lot of rocking chairs, a lot of seated places around the island. So I did have a lot of places that I could go and rest for a minute and sit.
Nowhere quiet though.
Yeah.
That's why when we were out in the parking lot, I was like, hey, there's a tram stop. There's a seat. We'll do that here. Very quiet, very nice here.
The other thing I didn't get to say my other negative about it was, and this is my fault, I wish that I had spent more time paying attention to the locations. You know how in Soarin' it tells you in the pre-show, like the locations that you're going to be going to. There's a room that you go into before this attraction that they have the screens with the posters of all the places that it's going to go. And I noticed it, but I was so interested in the storyline with the dad and the daughter talking about the ship itself that I really didn't look at the places, and I feel bad that I didn't recognize all of the places that we flew over. And so I do wish there was some way. I was kind of thinking,
which is 100% what I was thinking, that they would be like, what are we at? Oh, this is the Bristol Speedway. We're not supposed to be there. Dad, come on, get out of here.
That would have been
okay.
Actually nice.
Yes.
I would have liked to had the audio for that, for them to say where we were, because
I would have given up a few locations to do that.
Because I know, some of them were definitely obvious. Because you go over Vegas and you go over Mount Rushmore and you go through Grand Canyon. And so there's a lot of places that, yes, I definitely recognize, but there were a few really amazing places that I was like, oh, I'm not sure where we are. So I actually want to go back and look at the list so that I can go, oh, that must have been, here. So that was my only other negative. I would have liked to have had the audio with them telling us where we were.
So our review basically is, if you're in the island, definitely worth doing. I would say that about the wheel as well, just once.
If you love Soarin', it was definitely worth the trip to do it.
If you like the mechanics of a Ferris wheel or the steampunk thing, definitely worth doing. I don't know though I'd come here on my own just to do this, and I certainly wouldn't come back here just to do that. I would do it if I was here though.
And I would definitely check out, Lewis got the tickets not on the site for the
Yes.
attraction, but he got them at the ticket information center, and I think he got a little bit off on them
They
for
gave-
doing that.
We actually had $10 off because we got $5 each off the SkyFly tickets. I got the name right.
So be sure to check that out if you do that.
All right. So I'll see you next month. There'll be far more Dollywood content than you've seen today. I know I flipped it around. I put the Dollywood at the front, even though I'm doing it last, but it's a Dollywood podcast, a Dollywood vlog. I want you to hear that first. And if you want to hear this about here, you stayed around. So thank you very much. We'll see you next month. Opening day next, less than about 4 weeks away.
Yay.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye. All right, so we're gonna head home. Back to home. We'll be next month. Will be a totally different adventure here. We'll be sometime during the month. I'll be back for the opening month to see the new things, hear about the new things. Catch us on Dollywood Blazing Banter or DW Blazing Banter podcast. It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube and podcast audio. I do that with Theme Park Vision and Dollywood Outsider. And I'm Figments in Time on Instagram and YouTube, where you're watching this right now. Say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.